Get ready to strip away who you thought you were or what has expired and start creating the new experiences around who you are, where you want to go, where you want to be, and more. Think of this as a fresh, minty wind or air coming through to reinvigorate and awaken your senses to your soul journey, because new experiences want to be created and fulfilled this week. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to this week's weekly energy forecast for the week of February 5th through the 11th, 2024. Welcome back. Happy birthday, my Aquarians. Check in with me, comment down below. How are you all doing right now, this week, today, in this season of your life? Comment down with your favorite emoji. So let's get into the astrology, you all. I'm feeling like zip zap. Lots of electrical charges, lots of energy of, okay, we're moving the plug from this outlet to this outlet. We're changing things up. So there's a lot of reinvigoration happening, lots of air and earth energy when I was looking over the transits this week. So there's a lot around communication, expression, thinking, perhaps reviewing, and I feel like these are going to materialize pretty quickly. As a reminder, all times are in Eastern Standard Time, New York City time for reference. So let's get started. February 5th, we have Mercury in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees and 29 minutes, right at the start, right at the beginning. We are starting a new energetic cycle here. Knowledge is power. For those of you that may be new or that are watching or haven't in a while, I always put a little mantra when I look at these transits and I meditate with them. This is a week where we are going to start off with a lot of depth, curiosity, wanting to expand, but also ground ourselves or find ways to be more grounded, investigate, and look for things that really connect to our deepest desires, what's calling for us. Because there's a deeper need, especially with the conjunction of Pluto, of wanting to simply find that type of connection within ourselves, but also with communication and expression with others, researching, expressing, digging up. There's an element of wanting to connect to something deeper. So you may be finding out information at this time, whether it's spiritually or psychically or from other folks. And I also feel like you are going to connect to yourself in a way that's propelling you to shift a layer forward. Think about it if you're climbing steps. You're going up another layer in your soul journey. So there's something here about expressing yourself from learning something or from receiving information. I kept getting a lot of increased psychic, paranormal, spiritual interactions and messages coming as a result. Also, this could signify some fears coming out, like popping off, but to be healed, transmuted, so going. Think about like a balloon, right? You hold on to the balloon, it's the fear, and then you let it go and you see it go away. So I feel like there's a lot of different elements that are playing together that are happening at the start of this week. You may also start realizing or simply knowing things about yourself that are coming up because of some healing, because of wounds and traumas that are coming out for you to simply acknowledge so you can, I should say, move forward. So keep your antenna open, be receptive to what it is that you are receiving from others or from yourself, from your spiritual team, and in connection with them. Themes around psychology, parapsychology, occult, metaphysics, spirituality, transformation, and healing are optimal at the start of this week, especially if it's something that entails diving below the layers. Think about like a diving board when you go into the depth of the water. So this is something, again, journaling, any therapy, and I use that broadly, whether it's traditional psychotherapy or whatever you deem or define as therapy, where you're working through a workbook, something to help you along the way, you're going to receive great insights. On February 7th, we have Venus in Capricorn, trining Uranus in Taurus. Then we have Mars in Capricorn, sextiling Neptune in Pisces. I kept hearing when I was meditating on this alignment, Kelly Clarkson's song, Break Away. I'm not going to sing it. You can look it up. But the mantra I got here was break away and reinvigorate. So Venus trine Uranus is a very positive, earthy force, especially with the Capricornian and Taurus energies. around relationships, finances, beauty, love, harmony, and friendships, and Venusian themes in general. I kept seeing someone going out onto their balcony, shaking out the rug and doing something different. Almost like when you have this, or you have had the same layout in your living room or in your home and you want to change things up, so you start moving things around. This is the energy of shaking things up, especially with relationships. It could be too aesthetics, decor, adornments, which is something Venus rules over. And I feel like in Capricorn, this is an energy of wanting to do things that bring about greater growth or stability for you. It could be something tied to a larger goal of greater growth, but I also feel like this is going to inject almost like, I keep getting mint gum. You know, when you go out and you put gum in your mouth when it's cold, it's like a very reinvigorating, refreshing feeling. I feel that energy happening with all Venusian themes. For those in relationships, it could be platonic or romantic. Shake things up. Obviously, if you're in a romantic, shake things up in the bedroom. Do things that are different. Try new ways of reconnecting or connecting to one another, going out on different dates than you usually do. With friendships, you can try, again, same thing, but obviously the bedroom is not part of it, but try different things with your friends. Maybe try a new event. Do something different. Go to a new place to eat. Go and do something at your homes. Try a new game. There's something here. This energy is like, it's time to shake things up. Let's get out of the stagnancy. We're ready to grow. We're ready to push the envelope too and make progress. Because with the Uranian energy, I feel like it's just something different. And for some, it could be something extreme too. So there's a lot of leeway here, a lot to do within the spectrum. That obviously is going to align to how safe and comfortable you feel, especially with this earth energy we have. I don't feel like it's something completely radical. I feel like the earth energies help stabilize us and ground this energy. Also, a really wonderful time if you've been wanting to try a new look, try a new hobby, a pastime of sorts, like a new club, a hobby. I said that already. A pastime. Joining with others or connecting with other people in forms of alliances, relationships, and community, or learning something, check it out. Borrow that book from that library or go to the bookstore or explore a new event that you may see maybe in the cultural calendar section of your town. So again, this is about shaking things up, but also feeling safe and secure while you're doing it. So for some people may stretch. If there's something you really wanted to do, like you're like, okay, that's it. I'm finally going to get my butt out there and sign up for that workout class in public with other people, or I'm finally going to do this, whatever it is. Wonderful energy to do it. Mars sextiling Neptune, there is a harmonizing quality here around our energies, our passions, taking action, our individuality and assertion, and also our independence and spirituality. So again, another opportunity to break out of the norm here, change things up. You can heat things up with relationships, especially romantic relationships. But I feel like in all types of connections, there's something here that you can inject your energy in that taps into something perhaps more meaningful, especially with the Neptunian energy, but also something a little bit deeper, spiritual, something that may help you align in a closer way, however you define it, to your own spiritual team. It could be to others or to the practices that help you stay grounded in your life. So this is a great week to start off, or I should say these transits are wonderful to start off the week because they inject a lot of fun, play, doing things differently, and shaking things up. Because when things remain stagnant, imagine it's similar to the rug that I kept seeing. Dust collects, shit collects, and that rug needs to be dusted out, vacuumed, or shaken out outside, right? It has to be revived, especially with sunlight. February 8th, we have the sun in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. There's an element here of feeling stuck and frustrated with this. I kept getting doorstopper energy. I saw doorstopper. So the sun represents the soul, the ego, our self-expression, our identity, our career. It could represent father figures as well. So the direction you may want to go in or the action you want to take may feel unclear, uncertain, or blocked in some way because of how you want to do it and doing it in a way you only want to do it. It's like saying, I have to go this way to get to the market, and it's only this way. When the universe is like, wait, there's like 4 other routes you can go, because Uranus here represents a sudden disruption or change. So there's something here you may feel like it has to be done a certain way, or like, nope, I'm going to keep going in this direction, and you may be feeling like it's not happening. So there's also too something coming up about maintaining who you are in terms of self-expression, your identity, individualism, your ego, your own vitality. That's at odds with this change that wants to occur. You may feel a lot of restless energy, nervousness, and simply knowing or feeling or sensing something's going to change, I don't know what. And you're trying to do things in the old way when something new wants to be done, or when that situation or event wants to be done in a newer way. You're getting this feeling, if you haven't already from what I've said, a lot of the energies right now are asking us, okay, it's time to level up and switch things up a bit. So continuing on, some suggestions here. You know what? I think I missed a transit. No, I didn't. Trying to keep these recordings organic. So with the sun in Aquarius, there's an energy here of wanting to maintain, again, our individuality, to keep progressing forward in a way that makes sense to us. And the Uranian energy in Taurus wants some stability, but with change that's going to enhance our overall direction. So you can look at these things that you're feeling in a way from this perspective. Perhaps changing how you're thinking about doing something or relating to something that is going to help you still continue or prolong that continuity of safety, security, and comfort. But that's going to allow you to grow in a new way. So what can you change or up level this week, or in particular on this day, or with something that's going on in your life where you keep trying to do something and you're going at it, but you're receiving like that doorstopper energy, that bump, and it's like, no. On February 9th, we have the new moon in Aquarius happening at 5:59, almost a minute short of 6 p.m. in the evening Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing a separate video, so stay tuned, or I'll be posting, I should say, very soon. So with this energy, we're being pushed to shadow layer completely about who we once were, and to consolidate our individualism, our own paths, and to stretch into something new, while also honoring others and where they're at with ourselves. So not having to almost blend in or become enmeshed. Aquarius is really about doing things in a new way from what you intuit, because the Aquarian energy can see things. It's ruled by Saturn, traditionally, I should say. Aquarian energy can see things ahead of time, almost like getting glimpses of the future. And you're able to materialize that in the now. And so that's what makes Aquarians, I always want to say Aquarians a little bit different, because sometimes they may not relate to what's going on right now in the status quo, because they are bringing in, calling in, and intuiting with all of their senses things that no one may understand, not even themselves, but they're doing it now. So this is, again, a lot of breaking out of your comfort zone, breaking out of the norm, the standard, and simply growing. A lot of themes around growing. I got an egg, which I don't know if this is going to make sense, what I'm about to say, but I have here, break out of your egg and use this ramping energy this week with this lunation to shift the Aquarius energy of your life, wherever it is being highlighted in your natal chart, or whatever it is that you are predominantly focused on in terms of your goals, your life at this moment. On February 10th, we have Mercury in Aquarius squaring Jupiter in Taurus. This is also the start of the Lunar New Year. It's the year of the dragon. So embrace the dragon energy here, and again, break stagnancy. This is also, I would say, a beautiful time this week to clean things up. A lot of Venusian energy in Neptune too. And with Uranus, change things up around your home. Get rid of things. Inject something different, something new. Maybe switch up your, arrangement of furniture, decor, adornments, change the way you look. Maybe do things differently with the relationships in your lives. Maybe instead of connecting by phone, connect by different apps or different modes like video. There's so many different apps that you can do, and they're very creative. Anyway, this energy is really, this energy, it really highlights not being too optimistic, because with Jupiter, there's an energy here of expansion, of wanting more, perhaps wanting to do more, especially with Mercury. So be careful of themes of overcommitting, of, again, saying yes when you mean no, or saying yes without consulting your calendar or capacity that you have, and taking on too much. Also being overly optimistic or grandeur with overcommitting to plans with other people. Always tap into what is feasible, and that's something that's important, because sometimes you become so excited and ever have those moments where you are jubilant and feeling good, and it's like yes, yes, yes to everything, and then afterwards you sit, or that moment comes when you may not, your mood is, you know, dipping or changing, because moods are very fast, they change quickly. You're like, why did I say yes, or why did I decide to do it this way? So just be cautious about that. The Taurian energy here really asks us also too to connect to our body's embodiment energy and to our sensuality. So it brings up the notion too of expressing how we're feeling. So connect to that, whether something that you are saying yes to feels good, or if you're saying yes to someone else simply for that sake. So the Lunar New Year starts on the first new moon of the lunar calendar and ends on the first full moon, so about 15 days. So it starts on the 10th of February and continues on until the 24th. And the dragons, connected with dragons about 2 years ago in connection with a friend, and beautiful energies. I even have a little dragon here that I got. For some of you that may connect with dragons, this may be something that you may be feeling more of. But dragons symbolize wealth, prosperity, abundance, success, good luck, nobility, compassion, balance, transformation, wisdom, strength, power, and so much more. Because we are entering the year of the dragon, particularly in the earth energy, or with wood, I should say, there is an emphasis here on compassion and kindness. It's a very service-oriented energy that I got, and this originates from the Taoist tradition. And it also, with the Confucian energy that you bring in, taps into our unlimited potential. So there's something about dreaming big and realizing we can accomplish a lot, but also injecting elements. It's almost Neptunian too, with the compassion and kindness, injecting different forms of service, ethics, and morality, purpose, and service to what it is that we're doing. I was thinking, is this a coincidence all of this is starting, especially with these themes? And I don't think so. So this is amazing time to really push towards what it is that you truly care about, whether it's a cause, service, your own purpose. I always say purposes because I think it's plural. Things that are really calling to you to do, to really start taking action, taking steps, momentums, to break away from what it is you're doing that no longer fits and try something new. There was a dragon story here. It's an excerpt that I thought was really interesting and generally just cool. I really love learning about different traditions, excuse me. So the Lunar New Year is celebrated, for folks that may not know, all over Asia. It's not just Chinese Lunar New Year, so it's not just in China. They celebrate it in Malaysia, in Vietnam, in South Korea, and many other countries. But this particular story relates to Chinese folklore, and the dragon is one of 12 animals that apparently raced to the Jade Emperor in a competition that would determine the order of their zodiac signs. So while flying, he saw that there was a rabbit, and the rabbit did not swim well and had become stuck in the middle part of the river. And instead of just flying by and ignoring the rabbit and saying, see ya, peace out, I'm gonna win, the dragon blew with his breath like a very powerful wind that kind of pushed the rabbit forward. Reminds me kind of the tortoise and the hare, but that's a different fable and a different moral there. And the rabbit was able to go onto shore. And so we have this underlying moral and service-oriented lesson too coming up about being selfless, not selfish, selfless and generous. And I would say it starts with you, with yourself, by honoring who you are, and then extending that to others. Coming up next week, we have Mars entering Aquarius, Venus entering Aquarius on the 13th and 16th, respectively. And we have both Mars and Venus in Aquarius conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius. We also have the Sun entering Pisces. So it's leaving its exile in Aquarius on the 18th. Let's get started in or with the tarot. Okay, you all, I'm back. I had to take a brief break before I finished the tarot. Let's see what messages are in store for us this week, what we need to know, especially with all this energy happening. Okay, I pulled 3 cards. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Cups, 9 of Coins. There's an underlying emotional connection here with what you may be wanting to grow, which is important amidst all of this air and earth energy. So we have Knight of Wands, fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. Temperance, Sagittarius. And we got the Lovers, Gemini energy. So we have 2 major arcana cards here. I wanted to say there's an expediency here happening with all of this energy starting off in this week. But I almost feel like, because what I'm seeing, how do I say this? It looks like revolving meat, and then you cook it and you slice it. The part of your journey that you're out on now, or whatever it is that you may be focused on, whether it's a goal or a particular area of life, I feel like there's a new layer, perhaps an enhancement, or going to the next level here that is being opened up to you this week. And you're being asked to put your energy towards the new because something is completing, especially with this fire energy. This is also about perhaps some things that you have committed to or are wanting to try out may be ephemeral. They may be short-lived. In other words, there may be an expiration date. It may be something you need only in the interim, only until you continue on or get to the next leg of your journey. Because the Knight of Wands can be an energy that's fleeting, but also too when it's stationary and the energy is being directed towards something or someone, it can feel quite intense. So here, there's a lot of things simultaneously happening, like I mentioned. Something old is being up-leveled or taken to the next level. So it's a continuation, a growth. And with the Lovers here, I feel like there's a coming together within. So this can be your own connection to your own spiritual practices, to yourself. It could be with others, with relationships. For some, this could be new folks that are entering your own, we can say spiritual journey, but it's just life here as humans, as we know it. There's something about the past and the present, the past and the future. So some things right now, if you are still finishing up things, wondering if you should leave certain people, follow your emotions and where the flowers bloom. That's what I've heard, what I just heard. So wherever there is potential for growth, long-term stable growth, because this is coin energy. Coin, earth, or pentacle energy really suggests stability, something long-term. There's a commitment here, perhaps even a strategy here. So if you are in any type of situation or you're putting your energy into something where you're not really feeling it, or in your relationships where you don't really see it going anywhere, or you know it's about to end, you're being called to look towards the future in that regard and ask yourself, what here is do I need to end? What here, or what is in my current circumstance or reality that is getting ready to wrap up? Because something is about to end. And it's almost, again, like restarting. That's the best probably word I can use here. With the Temperance card, something is restarting. And I feel like it's to get you back on track, or at least feeling like you are in balance in some way where something is not always tugging at you or pulling at you. For some, this really speaks to relationships, because some of you have been dealing with stress and overthinking about some type of relationship or a cycle with a person, or it could be certain groups of people in an environment. And there's a cleaning away here, because fire burns as well, but this energy again is in and out. So if you've committed to something, or if you've renewed something and you said yes and now you're like nope, this is the opportunity to shift that as well this week. There's, even though with some of the energies I mentioned earlier, the tarot is really bringing up what is most resonating to you and what feels good to you, especially when it comes to others and how you receive and give your energy. Let's pull some additional oracle. See what else we need to know. I pulled from the Soul Journey. I hope I'm not making it up. We have the Wise Leader. You are a beacon for others. So this Aquarius energy has the momentum for many people to kind of pull back from others, not in terms of connection, but in terms of asking for permission, of getting validation. This is about doing things your own way. So you may be guiding yourself as well as others around you. It doesn't have to be intentional. They can just be seeing you. You know how children watch adults, that type of effect, where you're going forward, but you're also asked to also go forward in your life in some way. And with the leadership role, this speaks to accountability. So some cleanup energy that I'm getting here coming through, where some of you may be thinking this week, and again, everyone, this is something that's really important to mention. Everyone's timelines are very different and shifting. So sometimes some forecasts, some weekly energy forecasts and readings may not resonate with you, and they may weeks later. It works very differently for everyone. So pay attention to that, and also too how some of these transits are affecting your own natal placements and any other timing techniques you may use, because it's going to be different for everyone. Sometimes a shitty or heavy week for someone may be the best week of their life. So this here is about leading the way. I feel like this is the start of something new though. It's like you're embarking on something that may be different, or that you're departing from something else, like a departure from something pre-existing. You know, when you finally decide to do something that you wanted to do, or you make a decision that you have been wanting to make for a long time, you may have been sleeping on it. You may have been thinking about it a lot. You may have been going like back and forth in your head. This energy this week, there's a decisiveness here with this decision. I feel like my mouth is like chattering like electricity. There's a decision here, a form of certainty of going forward. So for any of you that have been feeling this is also serving validation, but I feel like the energy too, it's kind of ushering you along like the wind, like, hey, it's moving forward. It's time to move and not stay where you're at. Let's pull a starseed oracle and see what other messages we need to know. You're going to see a lot more progress when Aries season comes, because you're lighting the way. Right now we're in darkness, and this is metaphorical because not everyone right now is in the northern hemisphere in winter, and not everyone in the northern hemisphere in winter is experiencing complete darkness or snow or any of that, right? It depends on where you live. So this is completely symbolic what I'm saying. We're exiting the darkness slowly. We're in Aquarius, we're going to be entering Pisces season, and we start seeing the glimmers of light. So this week, I feel like many of you are going to also get a lot of foresight, perhaps prophecy, visions, almost smatterings, pieces, puzzle pieces of the future of your life, of different things that you may be wanting to bring in to your current reality, that are giving you glimmers, hopes, faith, but also a realization that, wait, I'm on the right track. There's something too about tapping into yourself. You're going to only know this because there's a lot of energy of going within. We have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms density, addiction, let God in. Strong focus here on connection with your spiritual team, with yourself, higher self, whomever and whatever you call this. You know, when you're just about to do something big, or you know something is about to change, or you are ready to let go of something, it feels probably the most scariest. And I could probably relate this to when you are on top of a roller coaster and it's about to go down, or when you're about to do something really scary. It could be like doing a public presentation or a speaking event or something, whatever brings up fear for you. It could be akin to that. This is letting you know, wait, you don't have to go towards that because something wants to be dealt with. There's something that wants to be brought into life. So again, I mentioned this before, there's a cleanup energy here. So some of you are going to be making final decisions this week because many of you are tired of the old. You're tired of how something is persisting, especially with relationships and especially with how you feel. I get the energy here. Many of you want to see growth. You don't want stress. This is about like leadership energy for your life. So if you feel a little bit of discomfort, especially in spaces when you're in the in-between, and what's ironic is, perhaps synchronistic, is several folks that I've connected to, clients and otherwise, they're in these like liminal spaces, in-betweens. And that can feel so uncomfortable because you're not there yet, there being where you want to go, but you're not going back to that place you were before. So you're just kind of like floating like a bubble in between. So when that happens, there's a high propensity to find or to engage in some type of escapism, as we have here. So think about any perhaps unhealthy or not good for you escape or coping mechanisms that don't contribute. So it could be, again, substance abuse, drugs, smoking, eating things that don't make you feel good, because I really don't think any food is bad, although there's many foods that are healthier than others, but anything that doesn't make you feel good, because there's a lot of good foods that taste good, right? But they don't make us feel good. So anything like that where you escape, it could be procrastination or completely ignoring what you need to do and just watching movies or video games. Flip that around and ask yourself, what can I engage in that'll help me feel better, help me feel more secure, help me feel a little bit more brave? Got a lot of brave energy here. We have some fire here. That'll help me just sit with what I'm feeling. And sometimes that could simply be nothing. It's interesting because we put so much energy into trying to escape things, when really, when we're feeling discomfort, all we have to do is just sit there and say, you know what, I just feel uncomfortable, and name it and say, this feels weird. I've never felt this way. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And just sitting with that a little bit simply acknowledges it. And then that scary balloon monster, it goes away, it floats. So think about it this week. Sometimes we put off making decisions. We put off taking actions because of fears. This is going to be a great time to connect to your spiritual team, to yourself, to your spiritual practice. And I keep saying that. And it's something that I've realized in connecting with many people is the difficulty many folks have in implementing practical spiritual practices in their everyday life. And it's important to do something that works for you in this season of your life. Final card I'm pulling from the Starseed Oracle. Any final messages? I also have been getting channeled messages, which I haven't shared yet, about starseeds being activated, because it's happening from outside of this world. So if that resonates with you, pay attention to the messages you're receiving, what you're feeling called to take care of, to address, to finally look at. Because for many starseeds, you're being asked to get ready to turn on your light, to shine yourself, or allow yourself to shine. We have magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique, but most importantly, you are enough. There's a preponderance of, perhaps of a push, a focus on self-worth, because some of the things that you may be taking yourself out of may ping at your sense of feeling worthy. We also have celebration. Celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift to the universe. Sometimes we don't get the closure we want as we continue moving on in life or lifing. I like that word now. Or adulting. The thing that you can do is create your own closure. Have your own ritual, practice, or ceremony. It doesn't have to be long. People freak out when I say ceremony. Celebrate what you've accomplished, what you've done, what you've learned, and where you're going. Because I feel like where your soul is taking you next is asking you to do things very differently, akin to a lot of the energies we've felt already. So really pay attention to what comes in for you in terms of messages, and also messages from your everyday life, from books, movies, songs, because everything is speaking to you. You guys, I hope this helped for this week. I'm wishing you a beautiful week ahead. Don't forget, if this has helped in any way, I would truly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing and joining excuse me, this amazing community. It really helps this channel grow and allow others to see it and to assist them as well in their soul journey. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Take care.